Brazil is emerging as the nation to take notice of in the sport of show jumping. A bronze medal at the '96 Olympics was captained by Rodrigo Pessoa and coached by Rodrigo's dad, Nelson. Two phenoms of the sport and heroes to their nation. With the victory at Hickstead, invitations for Carlos and Mumu came flooding in, but none so coveted as the one to fly to Canada and compete at Spruce Meadows. From Rio to continental Europe, to London, England, to Calgary. For Mumu and Carlos, the journey involves much more than just physical miles.
Since I'm young, I've heard that Spruce Meadows is something unbelievable. But that's unbelievable thing. Now I believe that he's unbelievable. It's such an amazing place. I think the best I've ever been. So that was one of my dreams, coming here to Spruce Meadows once, and that my dream came true.
Word of the Little Pinto and his teammates' special talent had begun to blaze a trail around the world. This newfound fame brought with it new challenges. The past 4 years, Carlos had fought a battle to gain acceptance for his horse and himself amongst his peers. Now his peers, his rivals, would want to see how long he could stay focused. One win was not good enough. In order to be great, you have to last.
Let's go, Mumu! Felicidade!
Carlos and Mumu were now striving for consistency, while the skeptics were waiting for them to fail. Early qualifying at Spruce Meadows occurs amidst a torrential downpour. The riders are there to earn their way into the finals. They are also there to watch the little colored horse they have heard so much about. Carlos is keen to establish his position early. Mumu gallops around the lush turf at Spruce Meadows with blistering speed. The rain and the slightest miscalculation causes a rail to fall. The fastest time is not good enough on the demanding track at Spruce Meadows. The result, however, is good enough to qualify Mumu and Carlos for the weekend final.
63.72. You know, you think of it, he had the time, but for that rail. He is our new leader, just as he was in Europe a couple of weeks ago.
Another day, another chance. It will not be taken for granted. For chance is what got this remarkable pair to the most renowned venue of their sport. North American Championship Finals at Spruce Meadows. It doesn't get much tougher. the biggest speed event on the continent against the most aggressive and fleetest of competitors. Carlos knows his horse is an all-star, and the game is on. The greatest test of their careers awaits them.
Number three.
It's going to be an oxer just sitting going that way, right turn to a plank, and 5 strides to this,
Okay.
Leopoldo says.
I think that's so impressive when you are a competitor and you like to compete. When under the tower and you in the sea and you watch that big ring, I think you feel so enthusiastic. You feel better than you are, you know. Even the horse. If you have a fighter like Mumu, for example, when he was under there, you could feel him, his ears looking for, I don't know, he was feeling something else.
Standing under the clock tower at Spruce Meadows, waiting to step onto the international ring. It's like stepping foot onto the 18th green at Augusta or center court at Wimbledon. Tens of thousands of people, the most difficult obstacles incorporated into a track that challenges each athlete's strategies. Carlos and Mumu's greatest quest. They must concentrate, stay confident, remain brave.
Mumu, you can jump on him in Calgary, and you can jump on him and show him in the slum that he used to live. For him, it's the same. Doesn't even care. He's a horse, the bravest horse I've ever seen. I've never seen even one thing who can spooky him, you know, make him spooky. He's the bravest. He can put a devil's lake with a sea full of waves. I'm sure that he will jump inside.
Now we have the incredible deck, Kyle 2 and 3. Carry 4, Jonathan 5, BB6.
Mumu the Lionheart, Carlos the Confident. They speak in silence. Trust is their language. Canada's Hugh Graham is classic in his display of horsemanship, leaving the fans on their feet. Suddenly, there is a quiet murmur spreading through the energized crowd. Here he is, the one many have come to see.
This, number 415, Pierre Constantin, Van Ganswinger Mumu, with Carlos Ribas of Brazil, riding for Team Europe.
Mumu quickly captures the hearts of the Canadian crowd.
Carlos Ribas and Mumu have to do.
Carlos can sense that special feeling of acceptance and admiration in the air. They are the fleetest at the intermediate point. Carlos can taste the victory. This is what he has always yearned for. But these thoughts have begun to interfere with concentration. A rail. And yet Carlos knows he has achieved something special. He raises his arm in a gesture of victory to the appreciative fans. The effort causes his shoulder to dislocate and Mumu to have another rail. They'll have to be content with a bronze medal. For the fiercely competitive pair, this result is bittersweet. For the little cart pony and the Brazilian boy, this is a day they had dared to dream about.
if I think that one day I have to sell that horse, I start crying in my bed. That I've done that a couple of times. When the people offer a lot of money, and I was I thought maybe I'm better take that money now and help my family and everything, and try to make something else with that big money. But you know, I start crying like a baby, and so I don't even like to think about that.
This love, this respect, the suffering, the sacrifice, the determination. From the slums of Rio to TV screens around the world for a sport they cherish. Some call it fate. Others call it destiny, extraordinary, remarkable. Skeptics ponder the unbelievability. It matters not to Carlos and Mumu. For them, what they share is simply called a miracle.